guys, good morning. I hope everyone is doing great. Doing good too. Uh, just had training last night, and that was the last training before the league game, which is Sunday. Unfortunately, I won't even go with the guys to go watch the game because, yeah, since I'm not gonna play, then I just have to stay back and go to work. But yeah, so training been great. Um, Basically almost every day. I mean, 3 times a week technically, but which you would think it's not enough, but it is anyway. Considering the level and that some people have to go to work and stuff like this. So yeah. Today I'm going to talk about how much do semi-pros earn while playing football in Malaysia and Thailand, because this is the two places that I have been to, and I kind of got to be on the receiving end. So I will just like try to explain to you guys briefly how much you would expect to make there in these two countries. But I'm going to concentrate more on Malaysia because that's where I spend a lot of time and yeah, everything. And first of all, to get you the understanding of the Malaysian football system, the Malaysian football system is into five. Yes, it's divided into five. How do you call it? 5 steps. So the Super League, the Premier League, the M3, the there was a thing it's called the, I forgot what the number 4 is, and then there is the M5. Now the Super League and the Premier League, these are fully professional setups, and the players there receive, if we're talking monthly, it's anywhere from 3,000 to 50,000 or to even 100,000, just depending on your profile in that sense. And usually it's the local players, South Americans or European players that come from somewhere and they had these big profiles, and they get paid $100,000 per month and stuff like this. And yeah, so that is like the 1% of the players there. But the local players, depends if you play for the national team, if you have a reputation there, it's a different scenario. But today I'm just going to talk about the M3, which is the below the Premier League, which is like the semi-pro. It is technically actually pro, because why? It's full-time. Players don't have to do a job, because at the time I was there, we train full-time, like 5 times a week. Then we play on Sundays, and all the players were not from the same area, and there were 2 houses for the club. The hotel was one of the the hotel was called the Villa, something like this, the Village, something like this. It was the sponsor of the club, so it's where the foreign players were housed. So the 3 of us, me, Joe Pedro, and Ibra, the 3 of us were housed there. And then there was this big house where all the local players lived in, because there would have been a lot of cultural differences. That's why we couldn't all stay there. And all the players were coming from all the regions of Malaysia. Some were coming somewhere from the island and all this stuff. So you all lived here. And the only time you get to leave the house or to leave the place was probably like on Saturdays, if the last training was Friday, and then Saturdays is like off day where you just go do whatever. And then, or if you're playing on Saturday, then Sundays you can go wherever you want to go to. And usually we always go, me, Ibra, and Joe Pedro, we always go to like the mall in the city on Saturdays or Sundays, and just play bowling there and stuff like this. So yeah, so it's technically I consider it pro, because it's full time. You paid enough wages to live by, as compared to other things. It's just probably, and the facilities there were great. The games are broadcast and all that. and the stadiums were really like amazing. Like you can't think that these are the stadiums for the 30-year clubs. Why? I mean, most of the stadiums there belong to the, how do I say, to the states. So they were like really big stadiums that could. Some stadiums were, I think, 20,000 capacity or something. For example, Manjung. Manjung had one of the biggest stadiums in the area. We were living in. Their stadiums was great, but then again, you found the other teams that really don't have big stadium. The ground is nice and everything, but just the stands and everything is not all that. They don't have so many stands, like so many sitters and stuff like this. But anyway, so I consider the 30 year of Malaysian football to be semi-pro, though technically it's pro because even the contract is written is professional contract and everything. So how much are you looking to earn here? Well, this is going to differ from the local players, between the local and the foreign players. Yeah, yes, some local players earn more than the foreign players, and oftentimes the foreign players earn more than the local players. So we put it this way. I'm first going to talk about my contract because I want to let you guys. I'm going to be transparent and let you guys know how much I earn. And I think when I was in Kuala Kangsar FC, and I think I was the least paid player in that team. Why? How did it come about? I think it was because I was desperate at the time just to play. So we come in. It was open trial. You didn't have to pay a fee at the time. That's the good part of it. You didn't have to pay a fee. You just showed up. We did trial, and there were like more than 200 players at the time. And they trimmed us down to 40, and then from 40 to 20 players or 18 players, I guess, because they had some of the players that they had already gotten. So this was just a new team. It was just starting up, and they had everything. We were using a university training ground for training, and then we were going to hire the community field, how do you call it, the state field, just for the matches. Anyway, so when we did the trial, like all these other players, I didn't even tell my agent at the time because I had gone like for months without even communicating with him. Even when I went for the trial, he didn't know because I just found the trial through other means. And after the trial, the club called me. They were like, "Hey, we're interested in you." And I was like, they say, "We want to sign you." And I'm like, "Okay." And they were like, "We are giving you $500 per month with the house and bonuses." And considering my situation, because at the time I wasn't like really like well off, I didn't have how do I say it? In my house where I was living in Kuala Lumpur, I had like unpaid bills. Like my bill of the house hadn't been cleared for like 2 months, and in my house I think I was paying about $50. You can imagine, it was an apartment. I had living room, a kitchen, and a room, and a compound, and I was paying. It was a shared house because there were like some other people in the house. It was like, I think, 2 rooms up, 2 rooms, 1 room down. So it was about 4 bedroom, and I was paying only $50 with all utilities inclusive. So anyway, had gone 2 months without being paid, and then this club tells me, "Hey, we are offering you $500 per month. We are going to give you an apartment, and we're going to give you a car with the other foreign players, with the 2 other foreign players, Joe Pedro and Ibra." Joe Pedro came later on because he was away first. I think he was going to sign in the Malaysian Super League, but for whatever reason he did not sign them. And Joe Pedro is the captain of Timor-Leste national team, and yeah. So me and Ibra were the first to move into the house, and when they just told me we're giving you this amount, I didn't want to bag. I could have even said, "No, you guys, I need give me extra, or give me like 700 or 800." You know, I could have bargained, or if I told my agent, if I told him to talk to my agent would have like tried to bargain and get extra. But I just didn't want to jeopardize the opportunity by asking for more money, and they end up changing their minds because I was desperate for money. I needed to go pay my house rent. I was like, how do I say it? Malnourished, not malnourished. Malnourished is the wrong word. But I was really like down. I didn't have any money at all. So this opportunity comes in. I'm going to have a house. I don't have to pay rent. I'm going to get. They were going to provide meals, and at the same time there were bonuses. For example, win a game or. I think they were going to put a clause in. They actually think they did put a clause in my contract that if I scored a goal, there was some certain bonus for it, and stuff like this. And I was like, okay, this is the most I've ever earned, I think, at the time. So I was like, well, this is fine. I'm okay with the opportunity. No bargaining, and I just said yes. And they looked at themselves and they were like, I think this is like the least they were trying to see. They set the price this low, and they were thinking I was going to have a push back and forth, like trying to bargain. And I was just like, man, I don't even care about the money. I just need to make sure that I have a house and I'm playing. And they were like, okay, welcome to the team. We gave a handshake, and then the next day, there was this long list of all the players came out, and yeah, they told me go to where you live, pack your things and come here. So I had to go back, pack my things and come back. So for me, I was earning $500 per month in the third tier with the winning bonuses. So if, for example, we play, if unfortunately the season got cancelled, but we were there anyway for like 2 months. So 500, but with other people, because for example, I'm going to talk about Joao Pedro's case. I didn't know exactly how much he earned, but he earned more than, I think, 2,000, because he was a captain of Timor-Leste national team. He had played against Malaysia and scored against Malaysia. And thirdly, he had come to sign with the Malaysian Super League team, but just for whatever reason, the coach that had brought him ended up not staying in the team, and a different coach was hired, given the job. So that's how he was without the club, and we snatched him and brought him into the team. So I assume he was earning between 1,500 to 2,000, or to even 3,000. This is what I was assuming. Ibra, I think he was earning more than me. I think close to 1,000 as well. And the local players, they earn between, I think, let's say between 700 to 1,500, because it's full time, and usually if it's a professional contract, then they're supposed to be earning technically below the minimum wage of the country. I don't know what the minimum wage of Malaysia is at the time, but I think they were earning that. So in the general context, in Malaysia, you could earn between $500 to 3,000, depending on your profile. And now there was a special case here. Joao Pedro's case was different, and then there was a special case because the club signed the 2016 Puskas Award winner. If you guys don't know who that is, he's called Faisubri. He won the 2016 Puskas winner, the free kick from the center, and the free kick kind of like went outside, and for whatever reason, it just, like, I think the wind blew it and then he went inside. So he was a big name. I think he was one of the biggest names, because he had played in the Super League at the time. He was playing for Penang, and then yeah, we got him, and I think there were rumors that he was earning about 5,000 plus. Why? Because he was branding the club. His marketing was like everything, though they would use oftentimes, if there were photo shoots and just some stuff, adverts that they wanted to do, they would use me, Ibra, and Joao Pedro. Why? They use foreign players usually to attract the local fan base. And that's how me, Ibra, and Joao Pedro, if there were some t-shirts that needed to be like advertised, they would use us and stuff like this. So in the general context, in Malaysia, you're looking to earn between $500 to 5,000, let's say, or to even 10,000, depending on your profile. But usually, I think in the best case scenario, let's put it in the average case scenario, it's between $500 to 3,000. This is with the house is paid for, and feeding. So you don't have to pay for house, you don't have to pay for feeding. So the 500 or whatever amount you're earning is just your extra to support your family wherever and do whatever you need to do with your money. It's your money anyway. So that's it for the Malaysian side. Now for Thailand, because I got offered a contract at the time when the transfer window was about to close, and I had gone to play in this club, and somebody from another club saw me and they were interested. So we put it this way: in the Thai league, there is T1, that is the first tier, the second tier, third tier, and fourth tier. So these four categories, the first two are fully professional. This is for sure. The T1 and T2 is fully professional. They even use VAR in T1, I think. Yeah, in T1 they use VAR, and I think in T2 too. I'm not sure. So these are fully professional, and the foreigners there make crazy money, more than players that are playing in Europe in all these kind of things. And actually, what I was saying, the money you're earning in Southeast Asia is, most of it is not even taxed. I think at 90% of the time the money is not even taxed. Like they just gave it to you, like, you know. So it's not taxed like that. So that's after tax, that when you get that money. But anyway, so Thailand, the T3 and T4, I think T3 is quite professional too, but it's professional because it's full time. I think maybe we put it this way: professionalism doesn't mean it's. We don't need to use the level, because we need to see, are you able to live off the money? Is it full time? So if it's full time, you train 5 times a week, and the wages are enough for you to live off it. So I think it's professional as well. The T3, same to T4, because T3 you don't need to find a job. And at the time I was offered, I think in the T3, the club in T3 offered me a contract, and from what I understand from my agent, the deal didn't materialize because my former club back in Africa, they delayed to send in my papers. But I was gonna earn, I think, between $700 to $1,000 dollars per month. That's what I was gonna earn with the house, and yeah. And most times these clubs also, they give you. Sometimes they give for example, in the case of Thailand, they give you scooter just to drive you around the city and stuff like this. And yeah, so that is that for that level. And I think in T4 is depending on what region, but you are talking between, you don't make below 500 for sure. You're talking between 500 to 2,000 or to 3,000. That's how much you could make at that level. So yeah, about UAE, it's a different case. If you guys want me to make a video about UAE, you can just comment down there, and I will try to make about it, how much players earn there in that level. So yeah, so in Malaysia you are earning between 500 to 3,000, or even above, depending on your case, if you are like high profile and stuff like this. But if you just new, this is how much you kind of going to make. I did talk about the M5 in Malaysia, like the 5th tier, because I don't know how much, I've never played there, but I think there are not even foreigners allowed anymore. Even in the M3 at the moment, there are no foreigners allowed, and you guys could see the level in the M3. It is really good. If you see the quality of the videos because the videos sometimes they're live on YouTube, so you see the quality of the videos and the equipment, the stadiums and the facilities they're using, it's amazing. They have these big buses and stuff like this. So Southeast Asia is trying to take football so seriously, and yeah, it's a good motivation, and this is why it's a destination for a lot of people. Only that it has been affected by the COVID, that most players don't want to go down there, and yeah, in that sense. But yeah, depending on your profile, you're gonna earn differently from some people. So that is the best, that's the easiest way I can put it. It's going to be different for me, and it's going to be different from you, and it's also going to be different if your agent is talking on your behalf, because agents have these negotiating skills, because that's what they do anyway. So they will help you negotiate better deals, and you're going to make better money than what you would make if you are talking to them. For example, in my case, they just told me we're giving you this, and I was like, yes, and they were shocked. They were like, oof, we would have said less, and he would just say yes, and that's for sure, because I just trying to avoid messing up the chance. So yeah, guys, that's the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thumbs up, and let me know what else you guys want to see on the video, on the call, on the channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's _sunny_22, and you guys go follow the other the other Instagram as well, the home of Raw Talent Future Gods. And yeah, subscribe, share the content, and comment down below what you want to see. And yeah, so that's it, and until then, a good day.